Good morning. So it's June 26th, 2022. And at this point, I've completed all 3 sections of the Course in Miracles. I started with the workbook, and then I went to the text, and then I did the teacher's manual. Now this is all on a fly. And I wanted to see how maybe I could contribute to someone else's growth and development towards their spiritual path, basically. And the reason for that is selfish. I say that because the more people that I help on that path, or I can be some tool to get to that path, the more joy and love I'm going to experience. That's my thought about it, right? The more people like that I'm going to meet. So I know myself. I usually have to do things to get ready for a video. Like wake up and my hair and shower and, try to get decent. But that's not going to work in this case because this has to be done first thing in the morning when I set myself for the day. So this is what it looks like first thing in the morning. And I just thought of it, honestly. It's June 26th. The only reason that means a lot to me is because if you grew up in New York City, many times June 26th was the last day of school. And June 26th, I had a life of educator. So even as a teacher or principal, whatever, June 26th, it was like, okay, this is when summer really started. School's over. So it's June 26th today, 2022. I'm in California with Kara, my daughter, and Jenna, my niece. And we're here for VidCon, and it's our last day. We're going to go to Universal Studios. We finished VidCon yesterday. It was awesome. And we're going to go to Universal Studios today with my childhood best friend's daughter, Nadine. My childhood best friend is Nadine, and her daughter is Gabby. And I'm happy, and I happen to be missing my niece. It was yesterday, my niece Charlotte's birthday. And Charlotte just turned 2. And she had a birthday yesterday, but her birthday's today, June 26th. And yesterday was also my cousin's baby's, Charlize's birthday party. I don't know when the day is, but the party was yesterday. So that's just my little two cents in that. Okay, so let's get... Sorry, I don't know why I go on tangents, but it is what it is. So let's get down to the Course in Miracles. So I decided to do this over. And the reason why I decided to do it over was, in the beginning, I did it without anything. They say you can do any of the 3 parts first in the Course in Miracles. I read that somewhere in the Course in Miracles. So I did that. But then I'm going to read you this. So I'm coming back to it because now that I have a strong foundation in the course, now I am going to so now I am going to, I don't have the app on here. So I'm using this. Okay, this is it. So I usually do it on my phone. But I'm using my phone to video, so I'm using my daughter's iPad that just happens to be here. Okay, so I'm doing this through video because even though I don't like to necessarily engage a lot in video, I know that that's a medium that is powerful and people gravitate to. And I know a lot of people don't like to read. A lot of people that I love don't like to read. Maybe not a lot, but some people I love don't like to read. So I'm hoping to reach anybody, you know, in this video era. Okay, so this is the workbook for students, and this is the introduction that it says. It says, a theoretical foundation such as the text. Okay, I started without reading the text here. I just did it. So you can too. It was super powerful. It took me like 2 years. So you can start there, so don't worry about that. A theoretical foundation such as the text provides is necessary as a framework to make the exercises in this workbook meaningful. I did it without that. Okay. Yet it is doing the exercises that will make the goal of the course possible. An untrained mind can accomplish nothing. It is the purpose of this workbook to train your mind to think along the lines the text sets forth. The exercises are very simple. They do not require a great deal of time, and it does not matter where you do them. They need no preparation. The training period is 1 year. The exercises are numbered from 1 to 365. Do not undertake to do more than one set of exercises a day. The workbook is divided into 2 main sections. The first dealing with the undoing of the way you see things now, and the second with the acquisition of true perception. That's when it gets good. I don't know. Maybe I don't have to do the first section. Okay, anyway. With the exception of the review periods, each day's exercises are planned around one central idea, which is stated first. This is followed by a description of the specific procedures by which the idea for the day is to be applied. The purpose of the workbook is to train your mind in a systematic way to a different perception of everyone and everything in the world. Powerful. These exercises are planned to help you generalize the lesson so that you will understand that each of them is equally applicable to everyone and everything you see. Transfer of training in true perception does not proceed as does transfer of training of the world. If true perception has been achieved in connection with any person, situation, or event, total transfer to everyone and everything is certain. Wow. On the other hand, one exception held apart from true perception makes its accomplishment anywhere impossible. That's a tough one to accept. It's all or nothing, both ways. The only general rules to be observed throughout then are, first, that the exercises be practiced with great specificity, as will be indicated. This will help you to generalize the ideas involved to every situation in which you find yourself and to everyone and everything in it. Second, be sure that you do not decide for yourself that there are some people, situations, or things to which the ideas are inapplicable. This will interfere with the transfer of training. The very nature of true perception is that it has no limits. I can't wait for my true perception. It is the opposite of the way you see now. The overall aim of the exercises is to increase your ability to extend the ideas you will be practicing to include everything. This will require no effort on your part. The exercises themselves meet the conditions necessary for this kind of transfer. Some of the ideas the workbook presents will find hard to believe, and others may seem to be quite startling. This does not matter. You are merely asked to apply the ideas as you are directed to do. You're not asked to judge them at all. You are asked only to use them. It is in their use that will give them meaning to you and will show you that they are true. I love that. No practice, no nothing. You just do what they say, which I really love. Remember only this. You need not believe the idea. You need not accept them. You need not even welcome them. Some of them you may actively resist. None of this will matter or decrease their efficiency. But do not allow yourself to make exceptions in applying the ideas the workbook contains. And whatever your reactions to the ideas may be, use them. Nothing more than this. Nothing more than that is required. So that's the introduction. So here's lesson 1. Okay, ready? Part 1, lesson 1. Now you can Google and just get this. Just Google A Course in Miracles workbook lesson 1. If you want to read it yourself, but that's why I'm doing the video, right? Okay. Nothing I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place, means anything. Now look slowly around you and practice applying this idea very specifically to whatever you see. Okay. So specifically right now, okay, I'm looking at this camera, this phone. This phone does not mean anything. This timer on the phone does not mean anything. This hair does not mean anything. These eyes do not mean anything. These eyebrows do not mean anything. This face does not mean anything. I'm looking next to me. These glasses on the table do not mean anything. These do not mean anything. This from VidCon snack does not mean anything. This avocado does not mean anything. This petroleum jelly doesn't mean anything. This little container does not mean anything. This panty does not mean anything. This sock does not mean anything. Okay, I did that. Then look farther away from your immediate area and apply the idea to a wider range. Okay, so now I'm looking out. Maybe I should show you. That fridge does not mean anything. That big TV does not mean anything. That mirror does not mean anything. That light coming through the shade does not mean anything. Kara does not mean anything. That body means nothing. That smushmallow big pillow does not mean anything. That door does not mean anything. That outlet does not mean anything. That suitcase does not mean anything. That drawer does not mean anything. That stuffed animal on the floor does not mean anything. This whole mess does not mean anything.
What do you mean?
It's just an exercise that I'm doing.
What the?
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to like it. It's not a judgment. You don't have to like it, but I'm just doing an exercise. Okay, so those things don't mean anything. Okay. Notice that these statements are not arranged in any order and make no allowances for differences in the kinds of things to which they are applied. That is the purpose of the exercise. The statement should merely be applied to anything you see. As you practice the idea for the day, use it totally indiscriminately. Do not attempt to apply it to everything you see, for these exercises should not become ritualistic. Only be sure that nothing you see is specifically included. One thing is like another as far as the application of the idea is concerned. Each of the first 3 lessons should not be done more than twice a day. So I just did it for this. Then it says preferably morning and evening. So I just did it right now. I'm done. And I'll do it tonight. Nor should they be attempted for more than a minute or so. That shouldn't have been more than a minute, maybe. Unless that entails a sense of hurry. A comfortable sense of leisure is essential. I think I did that pretty leisurely. Okay, that's it, guys. I finished, and if you watch this, you finished the introduction and the first lesson of A Course in Miracles. I have to come back tonight to do my exercise. Okay, have a great day.